Crankshaft here, this main bearing, and the bearing that goes in the engine, there is oil. So it floats on that oil. When we do get a metal-to-metal contact, that's friction. That's going to slow it down, and that's going to create wear. Okay. The connecting rod, again, as it moves up and down on that crank, the bearing is there. If the bearing goes bad or we get a slack in it, what happens is it starts to knock. Okay, you get that slack in it. Now you hear it best at idle, and it's going to be very rhythmic with the way the engine's running. Okay, but what happens is as the engine speeds up, remember the centrifugal force will hold it one way or the other. It doesn't allow it to knock anymore. Okay, but this is the bearing. Okay. Different alloys and things that cover it. Hold it apart, you know what it is? Now the small one there is a rod bearing. Okay? If you look on the back, it has a little notch on it. That notch is a lock that helps it hold it in position. Then when we put it in and we torque the bolts down, the torque actually forces it into the part. And that tries to keep it maintaining and not let it rotate. If it rotates, that's the term spinning a bearing. The bearing actually rotates off its point. Okay. And the crank, when we talk about it, there are holes in the crankshaft because we have to send oil through the crankshaft. Crankshaft is basically hollow, and it's got oil passages. Oil comes in the crank, goes out. There's a passage from this main bearing to this rod journal here. That's how it gets oil. It's internally in the crank.
Interesting.
This is a main bearing. Notice it has a groove and it has a hole in it. In the block, look at the block right here in the main saddles. Right in the main saddles, there's a groove and there's a hole. That's where the oil comes from. Main thing about an engine, when we start that engine up, the first thing that gets oil is the crankshaft. That's the most important piece to get oil, because that's where the biggest load is down on that crankshaft. It's got to support the crank, it's got to support the rods and the pistons. Okay? This is the main bearing. It's got the groove and it's got the hole in it. But again, the same thing. If this main bearing spins off center, it will cover up that hole. It allows no oil to get to the crankshaft. And it doesn't take a whole lot of running for it to turn black. Actually, to heat up and it'll destroy the bearing and the crank. Okay? Doesn't take long. So all engines are priority crankshaft oil. So number one, the first thing we oil is the crankshaft. The rocker arms and the camshafts, we can limit to how much oil goes up there. But we oil this first. This is the most, really one of the important pieces in it, is that.
So how do you go about oiling that?
Well, we have a right here on the front of the block.
Amen. I'm trying to record that. Yeah, be good, be good. Appreciate you.
Okay. Let me get everything. Okay, on our particular engine that we use, this is the oil pump. Okay, this will be the pump It'll actually have a pickup tube bolted onto here that goes out and down, sits on the bottom of the oil pan, picks up the oil, it brings it into the pump. This is where it's pressurized. Well, I'm sorry, it comes into the pump. Lost it. Yeah, we pick it up on this side, we pressurize it, we actually put it into the filter. We put it into the filter, it goes in the filter, goes in the center of the filter, out the outside, back up into here. This channel right here puts it into the engine.
Okay.
Okay, it goes in the engine there. Put it, damn, I lost it. Yeah, it goes in the engine here. We go here. This is where we read our oil pressure at. So it's pressurized. It's under pressure right here. So normal oil pressure is going to be 10 psi or higher. Usually about 10 to 60. Unless you modify the system, it'll go a little bit higher. We'll pressurize it here. This tube here will send it up to the top of the engine. Camshaft valves, rocker arms. But right here, it goes in, goes down. Like I said, each hole here brings oil to the crankshaft. Okay? We oil the crankshaft, which in turn, I don't have one this long. Where is it? But again, it comes in through the mains here. It would circulate over down through to the rods. Okay, it oils the bearing. Once it goes through there, it pushes out the side. In other words, it'll push in through to the bearing, and then it would push out the side. We'll lubricate the side of this. There's a little notch here. The oil is slung off, drops back down into the pan. Okay, we pick it up, we filter it again, pressurize it, send it back through the system. So again, one thing to remember, and a lot of people want to do that, high pressure is not the way you want to go with an oil system. You want to go with high volume. Okay, high pressure, we would move the oil through too fast. You don't want it to move too fast. You want to make sure it's full of oil. You want to bathe it in oil. So you want to make sure you have a large enough volume of oil to keep everything lubricated. You raise the pressure up to 100 psi, it's going to blow through. You won't have enough, but you want to bring the volume up. So you want to add regular systems, 4 quarts, you want to bring it up to 5 or 6 quarts. Keep good pressure, but a lot of oil, so it'll stay there. Okay? Lost my space. Tapping noise. That would be up in the valve train, and highlight that one because that's the answer. I know that's the answer for one of the questions. But it's a rocker arm type thing, and it's going to be a light clicking, and it's going to be constant. And it's going to click. But a rocker arm, our engine uses what's called a follower, which looks like a rocker arm. Yeah. This is a follower. Okay. Has a roller wheel on it because rolling is more efficient than sliding. Okay, we used to have stuff sliding off the camshaft or whatever. Friction. Remember, sliding, trying to push something across the floor without wheels on it, a lot of friction, a lot of effort. But if you put wheels on it and move it, it's a lot easier. So Most everything we have now is a roller design. So this is a roller follower. This follows the camshaft. The camshaft rolls across the wheel. It opens and closes the valve. Okay? But your tapping noise, I'll put stuff down, it might be falling. Light regular clicking sound. I like that one. Ping detonation, we kind of went over that one. We don't have to really do that one anymore. Whoop, finished too soon.